First, though, the Conservative leader David Cameron will be the star turn at the Ulster Unionist Party conference this weekend. He'll be giving his imprimatur to the new arrangement between the parties, which goes further than an agreement, but not as far as a merger, apparently. The UUP leader is with me. Sir Reg, one blogger has pointed out this is the second year in a row that you're not the keynote speech at your own conference. Is this a sign of the state of the party, that you have to hire in the big turns for the set pieces?
Well, look, this is not about hiring in somebody for a set piece. This has been the product of a year's work. It is clearly, 2 weeks ago, we agreed through our party a memorandum of understanding with the Conservative Party, and it is an opportunity for us to put forward what we believe would be a new direction in which unionism should take in the years ahead. And I see it as about the future. I see it as a long-term process. And Saturday will be an opportunity for our members to hear directly from Mr Cameron his view and his side of the issue.
A new political force, he's calling it. In what way?
Well, first of all, never before in Northern Ireland politics will people have the opportunity to vote for a party of government, to vote for MPs in Northern Ireland that not only would be supporting that government, but some of them will be in that government. And this is the democratic deficit that Northern Ireland has faced for years. Everybody in the UK can vote for their local councillors. In the devolved regions, people can vote for the devolved assemblies. But in Northern Ireland, you cannot vote for a national government. This is an attempt to correct that and to replace that deficit.
You say you have polling evidence that there is an appetite for this in Northern Ireland. Now, the only evidence that we have access to is the polls, where the Conservative Party has vanished to a nothing. Can you quote us some of this evidence that
well, first of
all these hundreds of thousands of people wanting to vote for this new force?
First of all, we have, if the Conservatives on their own in Northern Ireland haven't made it through, at one stage they looked as if they might. But there is an appetite out there to see not only us, but other parties linked with mainland parties. And whatever party you put the question to, if they were linked directly with another mainland party, all of their support would have gone up. With the exception of Sinn Féin. So what I think it says is that people, if you look at what we're going through at the moment as a population, where people are in severe difficulties with the credit crunch, with taxes, with mortgages, with all sorts of things, all of these are national issues.
Yes, but you're talking long term. In 5 years' time, we may not be in a credit crunch or a recession.
Yeah, that may be true, but the thing will still be the case that people in Northern Ireland, unless we make changes, will not be able to elect their own government. They will be sending members of Parliament, heroic though many of them are and hard-working though many of them are, but they cannot be part of a government. And therefore that makes us different from every other region of the UK.
But there was a time when that might have been of significance, but you only have one MP, and she, Lady Herman, isn't very happy about this whole idea of joining ranks with the Conservatives. So there's not much in it.
Well, first of all, you've got to look here about how you make change. Now, we've spent the last four decades tearing this country apart. People alive today will never get over what has happened to them. I'm looking long-term here. I'm looking at, I do not want future generations to make the mistakes that we made. And the one thing that happened during the 1980s was that British governments moved into neutrality mode as far as the Union was concerned. If you look at Dublin, every conceivable combination of parties that could form an Irish government will be a pro-United Ireland party, pro-United Ireland government. At the present moment, because there is no opportunity for Unionists in Northern Ireland to vote for a party that will form the government in real terms, that is a change that we will make. So what we will do is give people the opportunity to have a say on the wider national and international
issues. But the constitutional issue is secured by the Good Friday Agreement.
Yes, and who was it that negotiated that?
But that doesn't matter. It's now secured. So what's the point of this?
It's secured as long as there is support for it.
Yes, in Northern Ireland, yes. or Ireland North and South.
It is secure as long. So what
we have nothing to do with Westminster.
I'm sorry, it's everything to do with Westminster, because that's the difference. If we remain as we were portrayed as Unionists with our on the window ledge of the Union, then there will always be that threat. I want us to be in a position where we can realistically grow the number of people who want to support the Union, and I think we also will achieve that if it's clear that the people you're asking them to vote for can and will actually hold power in the national government as well as in the regional government.
What are you going to call this new grouping or party or whatever?
Well, the working group that the Memorandum of Understanding forming a committee which will be called the Conservative and Ulster Unionist Joint Committee. That body has been tasked to come back with all of those details in the new year, and details of manifesto, details of policy, details of branding. All of those issues will be addressed by that committee.
So you don't have an idea what it's going to be? Will the word unionist be in it? Will the word conservative be in it?
Undoubtedly, but there's a lot of technical issues, there's a lot of major issues, and we are have appointed those, or will be appointing those people next week, all being well, to go away and do that.